So as I was just talking about with the what just happened a few days ago with the white woman and the black woman at the park with the kid and the racial slur and all that. Now you got apparently a sign that came up that said F the JQ at a Barstool event, and this guy Dave Portnoy, who, by the way, I did not even know that this guy was the president of Barstool. I know he does those pizza reviews, and I happen to be a really big pizza fan. In fact, he was just, and I live here in New Jersey, he was just here today, I think, in Manville, which is not too far from me. If it's the Manville I'm thinking of. It's probably only about 30, 40 minutes from where I'm at. So, anyway, I didn't know he was the president of Barstool. I just thought he did pizza reviews and he was famous for that. But anyway, apparently someone made a sign, a Prejudice sign now, about F the you know who's, the people that you can't question, of course. And now this guy went off. This guy is going crazy about it, saying, "Well, we should re-educate these guys, throw them, and teach them about the Jews and their history and their suffering, because we're always supposed to feel bad for those people." In that land that was given that was stolen actually from the people that were on it, and now we got settlers on there that think they own it, and they're completely destroying everyone around it and expanding, because that's part of the New World Order agenda. And if you're not familiar with that, well, you're not really awake, unfortunately. Um, so this is more fuel now to prejudice stuff. It's just like I was saying in my last video with the white and the black stuff. I mean, the JQ stuff, the past, it really started last year, where it's like there's just been awakening to the JQs, and people think they're the one all be all controllers of the world, and it stops with them, and there's no other group. Obviously it's like even they'll acknowledge Freemasons, they'll acknowledge Jesuits, they'll acknowledge places like Skull and Bones and secret societies and occults, but they, for some reason, they think it's like it ends with the JQ. And listen, the Zionists obviously are Kabbalists. They are part of the New World Order system, just like the Freemasons, the Jesuits, the whole nine yards. But what people get confused is you're so wrapped up in like who's doing it to us, when it's clearly all of them. It's like a team. It's just like how there's all of us, right? And how there's all of us with different skin colors, different sizes, different nationalities, different cultures, different languages. The powers that be are the same. It's just they don't look at each other uh, as oh, well, this person's from this area, this person's that skin color, this person's that nationality, this person um, does this for, they don't view each other the same way, what I'm trying to say, as we view each other. You see, they make us view each other through skin color, through our religion, through our political views, what we do for a job, like our class, right? How much money we make, like all how we dress, like all these stupid things that are completely meaningless to a person's character. In the end of the day, the powers that be don't judge each other the way that you and me do. So not to get sidetracked, this guy, you can even see here, I'm not even freaking playing his audio or anything, but you could just see he's like all livid and mad. And maybe, listen, again, I thought this guy was famous for pizza. I don't know this guy, I never met him. But when you have millions of followers, when you're the president of something like Barstool, I mean, come on, you're telling me there's not something going on behind the scenes with you, or you're not maybe some sort of bloodline, or you didn't do some sort of soul selling to get to a position like that has a lot of power and influence over people my age, and especially younger, like in the early 20s, especially the late teens, like the college years and all that. So we've seen this huge awakening with the JQs. It's not just, and it's going mainstream. Like I said, even with in the last video, a lot of these conspiracies are going mainstream and wrapped in with some truth, mixed with lies. That's why it's getting a lot of people on board and thinking that things are being exposed, or that Trump might be a savior of some sort. But the guys I've been mentioning a lot this whole year, because the micro influencers are really taking off, the guys like Jake Shields, Myron Gaines, Nick Fuentes, and people alike, how they all talk about Israel and all of them, and how they control everything. and they got these guys have a big following, man. I mean, they reach millions of people. And do you think if they're really saying the truth, or if they're not somehow, some way controlled, that they're gonna reach millions of people? If you really think these people are censored or being deplatformed, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind, because it's gonna be someone like me or other people like me who can't reach anyone because there's algorithms because of AI that make sure they don't even really need to censor me or remove my videos anymore. They just make sure I don't get seen. My videos never blow up. My tweets never get views, even. And it's because the algorithm knows probably that when it comes to my account. You know what's funny, actually? Is anytime I post BS on X or Instagram or whatever, like BS, it gets actually a decent amount of views. But for some reason, when it's real stuff, serious stuff, like a serious message of truth that people need to know, I notice it doesn't get views. Listen, you can think I'm lying, but literally, I've had views get taken away on my YouTube channel. It's like, and my videos don't get a lot of views at all. That's why I notice it. It's like I'll notice the video has 10 views, and then overnight, it drops down to 7 or whatever. And it's weird, right? It's very strange that that would happen to someone like me, who's, I mean, I'm not a threat. I'm not saying I'm a threat to the powers that be, because I'm not. My point is that the JQ thing, it's going mainstream. It's been mainstream for a while. It's being tied in with, the right wing extremists, the conspiracy theorists. Because again, do people like Jake Shields, Myron Gaines, and those guys say a good amount of truth? I mean, they do. There's truth in what they say, but they're mixing it with lies. They're spreading hate. They're chaos agents. They're spreading hateful messages. They're making you dislike certain groups, and anyone who makes you dislike certain groups is ultimately misleading you. And when I say you should be mad at the people actually perpetrating things on you, which is sure, the people in high positions of power, yes, who call themselves Zionists. And because they call themselves Zionists, they can just say, well, I'm Jewish, so you're anti-Semitic. And then that gets people, who might be Jewish or who might be in support of that land that it shouldn't even be there. It gets them riled up. And it causes division. And obviously the person, your average everyday Jew, Israeli, is not a bad person, right? They're deceived, just like you and me once were. Or maybe you still are now, and you're watching this and just waking up. You gotta understand, they're letting this get big because it's gonna lead to, with the anti-Semitism stuff, to complete censorship and hate speech, and it's gonna become illegal to where you can't say anything. And we need to stop it now. We need to start taking these things more serious and stop falling down the wrong rabbit holes. And we need to take responsibility and really educate ourselves on who's controlling the world. Because let me tell you something right now. If you're gonna go and say, "Oh, it's the JQ that control it all," okay, you know what? There's a lot of Zionists, of course, in high positions of power, but there's also a lot of Jesuits. There's also a lot of people of the Freemasons, of the Skull and Bones, of all these different covens, right? These witch covens or wherever. So, I think you guys get my point that obviously this is another psyop. This is probably another fabricated story, just like the one with the black woman and the white woman, to cause hate, to cause division, to mislead people, to get people down the wrong rabbit holes, to get people to maybe who are looking into conspiracies to think it's crazy and not look into it. Because now that it's hitting Barstool, because this whole anti-whatever stuff, you know what? It is coming in people in their 20s who are going far right. Because we went so far left the past 5 years that now the pendulum has swung so far right, as I've talked about already. But anyway, I think I said enough here. Let me know what you guys think about this, and Dave Portnoy, whatever the hell his name is, and this whole situation here. I'd love to hear it.